Hey, morning guys. Very fortunate to bring you a very interesting guest and someone who's taken action on many people's thoughts and greatest wishes. I'm with Vit Jadika. Nice to meet you.
Meet you as well.
And by his official title, let's get this straight also, although he's not at all officious in any way as a person, the president of Liberland. That's right, you heard me right. We've got a president on the show for you today. So I hope that raises a smile. But this is a different kind of country and a different kind of place. Vit, tell us a little bit about the concept of what you're establishing here.
Well, you know, I was working for many years to make Czech Republic a more freer place with lower taxes and lower regulations. And after some time, when I was pretty strong opinion about that, people start to tell me that I should start my own country, and I said it's actually a great idea. That might be much more efficient than to try to change the existing one. It might actually be also easier. So we're looking how to do that. We knew that we have to fulfill the Montevideo criteria, have population, territory, government, and have to be able to do diplomacy.
Let's have those again, because for many that's new, but let's have again. You've got to have to establish your own country. Population,
territory, have to be able to do diplomacy,
diplomatic ability to perform.
And those are the basic things that you need to basically get things going. And this is what we've got, right? 2.5 years later, we've got 500,000 people that sign up for citizenship. We've got our representative offices in more than 100 countries around the planet. We've got a pretty strong...
More than 100 countries, so that's quite a diplomatic network that you've had to throw up.
It is, and I'm happy that it is growing so fast, and it's one of the things that people can really easily help with, no matter where they are. And I'm very happy that the network is quite strong. It's both politically, diplomatically, and business-wise. It's a pretty strong network that we've got now.
Now I'm going to attach a link below this video with the image you shared. I took a picture actually of the image you shared in terms of the location of the territory. But maybe to give you the best opportunity, can you tell us something a little bit about that? Because there's still some establishment going on there.
Yeah. Well, we claimed a piece of land which was unclaimed for more than 26 years, neither by Croatia nor Serbia. And that was, of course, a specific place which basically Serbia owned, and they gave it up, but Croatia never accepted it.
Right.
And we're thinking that's a great opportunity to start a new country, because it's one of the most impoverished places on the planet.
Right.
Not on the planet, but in Europe, definitely. And well, people are making 200, 300 euros a month.
Yeah.
There is a very high degree of unemployment. The economy is not doing that great for many years. I'm thinking that would be great contrast. You know, we've got a very free country, which is something like Monaco, Hong Kong, right in the middle of Balkans, that can help the whole region to grow.
Right. So just to synopsize that a little bit, you're talking about the potential of a mini Switzerland in the heart of the Balkans. How cool an idea would that be? You're sharing a border with Serbia and Croatia, a very popular, Croatia being a very popular tourist destination, many people having gone to Dubrovnik. But I understand so far it's gone great with the Serbian side, but maybe there's still a challenge to face with the Croats?
Yeah, well, Croats, you know, they've got border disputes with all their neighboring countries, so we're not an exception.
Join the party.
They're kind of pushing back and forth with us for 2.5 years. Now the situation got a little bit better. At the beginning, we had hundreds of people being arrested and basically persecuted for visiting Liberland,
right?
Which kind of reminds you of the beginning of Israel, where hundreds of thousands of people were arrested just for coming there.
Yeah.
And well, now the situation is changing. Now, the last year and a half, we didn't have a single arrest, yet people were visiting Liberland quite often. And I'm happy for that. Also, I'm happy that we're pushing the court case higher and higher in the hierarchy of Croatian courts. So now we got it to the Constitutional Court. We might actually go to European Courts for Human
And
Justice.
Is this to establish title to the land?
Well, this is what we're doing. We're establishing our title to the land. And we know that Croatia doesn't claim it. People were actually arrested for exiting Croatia illegally when they went to Liberland.
Wow. So actually Croatia was actually saying, we don't want this, and we don't even want people going across into that land at one point. Okay. So it was discarded. And now that, in a sense, you've shown interest, maybe it's created a bit of initial, were they right in their original position? Could someone in the future, is this a situation where people can buy a plot, build a home and make a living and be part of, as in a normal citizenship realm? Is that the end goal for us here?
Well, we're not going to sell the land until we settle the situation. What we're doing right now is we're settling it by the river. So we're
Yes.
building a larger and larger fleet of boats and ships. And we'll also
Explain something important on that, please, because many of the people will battle. They'll be from all over the world. So we're sitting, Croatia comes down and it's got that huge amount of coast and it goes inland like that. And then Serbia's north. We're actually on the river Danube, is it?
Yeah.
Have I spoken correctly? So you're
pretty wide. It's some 700, 800 meters wide river. It's international waterway, which gives us free access to Liberland. It must, like, this is something that even Croatians have to respect.
Yeah.
The free passage through that place, and we've got a really
so that's as
good
established.
time there in summer.
Yeah. So it's in a sense, for now, you're boat people
Yeah.
in international waters where you're safe on a piece of land that most people have agreed you can take ownership of and title to, apart from one outstanding matter. What's the time frame for this? Because for people that want to get engaged, they might just think, I'll wait till the story's over, which is probably what you want anyway. But what's the time frames for that?
Well, there are different expectations from different people. For example, Serbian Ministry of Foreign Affairs guys told us that it can take us 15 years, and I'm ready for that. It'd be nice to get Liberland done in 15 years.
Yeah.
There are different opinions, of course. There is also a possibility that we will win the Constitutional Court next week, and that maybe the Croatia police will back off, and that's the only thing that we want, right? That
Yeah.
Croatia basically retreats back to its own borders with their
Non-aggression.
policemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't need them to recognize us. We just need them to leave us alone.
That's it. Freedom of movement in your own territory. Well, that's fantastic, and that's a great principle. What in terms of the other concepts? Because I know Roger Ver, for example, has invested with you quite substantially in terms of support with the boats side. A very tidy sum. I'm not sure if that's public knowledge. Is it? Yeah. Are you free to
We're
say?
very happy that he is one of the key supporters of Liberland and he's pushing things forward.
And one of the key principles that are very powerful, that in terms of you as a person establishing a place of liberty, is you're grasping the blockchain and the crypto realm very, very strongly, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, and it's the future. And there is all these new government or these new governance concepts. We've got PIVX here on the conference. We've got Dash.
Yes.
And both of these cryptocurrencies are both anonymous with some nice government structure. And of course, these are nice experiments where we can learn from, and we can just switch the concept to a state building instead of just a simple currency building.
Absolutely. And then taxation, your view on things like that.
We've got a great, I would say, change of paradigm viewpoint here, where we believe that taxes should be voluntary, but not just that. That whenever you pay taxes, you become a shareholder of the country that you're living in. And I think that is a very different...
Let's say that again one more time.
Very different.
Voluntary taxes, and for those that make contributions to better their land, a stake in the value of that land. Who thinks that's an awesome idea? Sorry for that. Just wanted to underline it.
No, great. I think it is actually the main idea which Liberland is revolved around, right?
It's an awesome idea.
Of course, that whenever this is in line, and the people that have actually created the country get to vote about these things, they tend to want to do good for their own country.
In your talk, if I can interject slightly, you mentioned the Swiss model in a degree, because the Swiss model very famous for the referendum on any aspects that are fundamental.
That's the second thing about our system. We want, citizens will not have one person, one vote. It will be shareholders that will make positive decisions. But on the other hand, the majority of citizens can veto the decision by shareholders. So we want to have this balance where these two groups have to be kind of.
It's not just the wealthiest guy who bought the most shares that dominates.
But they have to respect the majority. But yet we will not let the majority to create the rules.
Exactly.
And
so
that's a typical thing that the majority of people would, for example, say that the wealthiest top 10 have to pay 20%.
Put all the roads down. Yeah, exactly.
But they already were the ones that created the country.
Exactly.
Yet the poor half of the population would try to squeeze them even more. And
we can't go into a welfare state model straight away, can we?
No. But the thing is that, of course, they wouldn't chip in the money. They would just move to another country. And we just want to make sure that doesn't happen in Liberland, that everybody can prosper there, and that people are not going to live at expense of other people.
And what would you say, because I mentioned that we had a small pre-chat just prior to the interview, because I mean there's many places in the world where there's a particular group that's being persecuted. So I mentioned the Boer white farmers in southern Africa, hardworking, diligent, man of the soil, integrity, etc. They're facing 200 times the murder rate. There are other parts in the world, that's just personal to me because I grew up, where there are really skilled people that feel they're overtaxed, overburdened. Is there a welcome mat for people of that nature to come and engage with you?
Definitely. And by the way, like Serbia is one of those places where South Africans can go without any special visa. I know it's pretty hard for them to get to EU or even UK. But Serbia and right next to Liberland, this is a place where they can settle and they can do also some farming. I actually have a couple of friends that settled right next to Liberland from South Africa, and they're in the sheep business.
Sheep, yeah. These guys do cattle, they do maize, they do corn, they're great, they're dominant. I mean, we're talking about, in essence, the irony was you are the modern day Boer in essence, because they were the French Huguenots and the Dutch that rejected government and went to the new land and founded the new land in it. And we're seeing the cycle repeat, and it would be awesome for them to serve. How do people engage? If people say, this looks like an honorable man, this looks good, like good intentions, and not just good intentions, but a policy to ensure that the right behavior is encouraged. In other words, self-determinating people, low tax, some voluntary tax, but also recognition for those that do contribute, so there will be a community spirit tendency. How would they engage best with you if they wanted to come forward?
First of all, it's good to sign up for citizenship or just sign up for newsletter on our website. It takes a couple minutes, and then you get to actually, can follow up pretty easily on social media and other channels.
Nice.
And the great thing is to really go forward and then contribute somehow. Come over and see what's the situation. We've got a nice conference coming up on 13th of April, the biggest.
Is that going to be close to the venue?
It's going to be right next to Liberland, basically on the river. It might even be in Liberland.
Fabulous. So let's just say that date again. That's 13th of April?
13th of April. It's the 3rd anniversary of Liberland.
And how would, just say we're talking to someone who's watching this for the first time. Would they fly into Zagreb? Would they fly into
they can use
Serbia?
Liberland and fly from Prague directly to Liberland. Almost. It's right on the other side of the river. There is a small airport which we can use, but otherwise they can fly to Belgrade, they can fly to Osijek, which is in Croatia, or they can also fly to Budapest, and that's probably one of the cheapest options.
Okay, excellent. And then what would they do? Drive from the remaining?
I think the best is to rent a car and come, and it takes like hour and a half, and then you're flexible, so that's the easiest way. But you can also take a train or bus and get there in a couple of hours.
What I really like about this idea, and maybe this is just me personally, and some will disagree, is that you get the chance to make a contribution on something that is still early, yet the principles around which are already established and strong. And this is designed for, you can build a family, you can live a life, you will not be have a parasitic, overreaching government with superstate EU rules and regulations, all the clampdowns on your freedoms, the principles of which are established strongly, and yet there's a requirement for contributions from skilled people here. The Liberland guys are very receptive. I've just met a number of them, not just cool, relaxed, but committed in person to their principles, and I really like that. So it's an opportunity for them to bring talents forward as well.
Definitely, and that's why Liberland is a great networking tool as well, especially for the guys that are into crypto, in creation of free trade zone, and tax optimization, and alternative citizenships. All these things are very popular with our community, and that's why we're also finding different chambers of commerce in cooperation with the counterparts in different countries. So we just launched a Liberland Czech Chamber of Commerce, officially recognized by them.
By the Czech Republic already. So recognition already beginning to take place, but more work needed. If you were thinking, hey, I would love to have been a diplomat, but just all politicians suck. This is a country with real principle that has a requirement to probably establish office in further countries. I mean, you're in 100. How many would you like to be?
Well, we would like to, of course, have every single country on the planet covered, and it's on a good way. I think in 3 years we managed to cover 100, so we can do the rest in probably 2 or 3 years. And I think that would be great to have a biggest diplomatic network on the planet and really work to pursue a full recognition and support, but also spread the idea abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I admired about your talk as well, Jit having been present, so Jit has been, for those just watching this at a later point, has made a very awesome presentation at the recent Anarchapulco event, is that he supports others doing the same. He doesn't want to own the space. In fact, you're enjoying the notion, and you mentioned it a couple of times. Just give us a little bit of detail on that. You would like to see more countries.
Of course. I'm very enthusiastic about Honduras now doing a decent change in their constitution and welcoming the ZD zones inside. I'm excited, for example, about the first country that we got the mutual recognition, Somaliland, inviting a Dubai free trade zone in their country. That's a great concept in which basically countries kind of get to integrate with each other through free trade zones.
So let's cover that. Honduras, we know where that is. That's Southern America. Somaliland.
It's right next to Somalia.
It is Somalia,
unrecognized country, but fully functional with 4.5 million people living there. Twice size of UK.
Wow.
Nice guys, compared to these warlords right next door.
Exactly.
Very secure situation right there.
Less pirates. Absolutely. Well, those are two examples already there, and you've established, I suppose, a community of like-minded looking to get recognition.
Yeah, and then we've got a very nice, supporting crowd in Somaliland, and we already met all the members of government and opening the dialogue with the new president. So it's pretty cool situation there.
That's fabulous. I'm going to wrap. This has been an awesome chat. I'd love to take longer, but this man is busy. Final word, let's just go through the website for people that want to engage. So Liberland, LIBERLAND.org is the website. Have I nailed that?
Exactly.
And if people, do you take personal emails? Would you like to leave an email?
It's easy. It's president@liberland.org.
You can email your future president. How many of you can say that? So president, you know how to spell that. If you don't, get a thesaurus at liberland.com. I'm Francis Hunt. This is a man leading a new nation on a journey seeking liberty of Liberland. This is Jit. He'd love to hear from you, especially if you are coming not only to take and get advantage, but to make a contribution. Thank you very much for talking to us today, Jit.
Thank you. Very exciting.
All the best. Thank you.